Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Hello Buddy. This video will proceed to the Kingdom Protista about the Subkingdom Protozoa video explanation. Okay, so this is the content of this chapter. So it is under Kingdom Protista and then for Protozoa only. Okay, so you have to know the Subkingdom Protozoa. What are the characteristics of Protozoa have that is different from alga? Okay, you have to know they are unicellular eukaryotic organisms. So already mentioned that unicellular means it is totally unicellular. Different from the alga. Alga is unicellular, but some of the species is simple multicellular. But for Protozoa is totally unicellular, and then they are heterotrophic. Like the green algae is considered as autotrophic. Why? Because they have photosynthetic pigment. So the algae is considered as autotroph. So but the Protozoa is totally different. They are heterotrophic. And they are lack of cell wall. They normally do not have cell wall. Not like alga. Alga has cell wall, but Protozoa do not have cell wall, and they do not have tissue also. They do not have tissue, and then the biological reaction is carried out by the organelles in the cell because they are unicellular. Okay, so for Subkingdom Protozoa, there are 4 phylum is the mentioned video for the Kingdom Protista, but only Jusmatigina is the syllabus for STPM. Other trees are not in syllabus, you don't need to learn. Okay, so for Jusmatigina, the characteristic of Jusmatigina is same as the Subkingdom Protozoa also. They are unicellular, and then they normally found in freshwater, marine, and moisture terrestrial habitats. Freshwater, marine, and moist terrestrial habitat. Terrestrial habitat macam human punya, tapi it must in moist. Ada moist punya. Kalau dry, they cannot. Macam human, they cannot survive in the land, but they can survive in like paddy plants or after raining, the soil is moist and they can survive also. Okay, and then the body shape is spherical and elongated. You see this, if you see this example of these cells, it is spherical, but it is elongated. Macam rectangular shape. Macam rectangular shape, but it is not rectangular shape because if you see that it has the macam ada sengit sikit, but so it is considered as spherical, but it is long spherical. And then it also contains nucleus. You see that it also contains a nucleus at the center of the cell, and then they have one or more whip-like flagella that enable them to move. So they are flagella. Ini yang panjang ini flagella lah. Okay, they pull themselves forward by latching flexible flagella. Ini flagella adalah itu structurenya mereka responsibility to make the cell move. So if no flagella, they cannot move. They cannot move. Ini macam kaki lah. Macam kaki untuk sel inilah. Macam kalau human kami nak bergerak, kami ada kaki kan. Yang ni sel nak bergerak, mereka akan ada flagella. Tak ada flagella, mereka tak akan boleh bergerak. And then they ingest food by oval groove and cytophanes. Ini adalah structure untuk Jusmatigina lah, spatial structure. The oval groove in human like mouth. Kami makan makanan menggunakan mulut kan. Tapi Jusmatigina mereka makan makanan menggunakan oval groove. And cytophanes. Cytophanes is the throat punya. Okay, and they are heterotrophic. That is absorbing nutrient from decomposing organic matter. And then they are reproduced by asexual reproduction, but some reproduce sexually through conjugation. So normally they are reproduced through asexually. Okay, so hopefully these are the all the characteristic of Jusmatigana have. So, yang paling penting, it is unicellular, and it is freshwater, marine, and terrestrial habitat, and it is spherical shape, elongated spherical shape, and it has one long flagella, and flagella is the responsibility for movement, and it ingests the food by overgrowth and cytophonics, and also it is heterotrophic, and it is reproduced by asexual reproduction. Inilah semua yang paling penting punya karakteristik of Jusma, phylum Jusmatigina. Okay, so there are 3 example species that you have to learn. The first example is Trichominfa. Trichominfa. Yang ni kalau for this species name, same as Alga. If you want to write the example of this species name, actually it is not species name, it is genus name. Only genus only. If the species name actually got another words at the behind, but it is just the genus name. So you have to write in correct form. That is the second video I mentioned how to write the species name. So if you already forget, you can refer to that video. Okay, so for one example is Trichominfa. Okay, so this is the the figure under microscope. Look macam ni lah, yang macam ni punya. It has 100 of flagella. Means that if you see this structure ini cell there at the anterior end, ini flagella lah sangat banyak. Dia bukan hanya satu saja, dia hanya banyak, 100 of flagella. And it is living in the guts of termite and wood-eating cockroach. Yang ni ini species, dia akan normally living in the gut of termite and wood-eating cockroach. Dia akan colonial live at there lah. And then it relies on endosymbiotic insect to digest cellulose in the food. So it will realize dia macam parasite organism. It will rely on endosymbiotic insect to digest the cellulose in the food. So this will produce sugar that can be absorbed as a nutrient by both Trichominfa and insects. So it will get dia macam tu, dia akan parasite realize on the insect. Dan macam mana dia dapat nutrient? Dia akan dapat nutrient from the cellulose. Digest the cellulose and then will produce sugar. And then this sugar will be used as the nutrient for Trichominfa. I think I type wrong. Actually, it's NY, not NU. NY. Trichominfa and insect means that insect, although it has this parasitic organism, but it also can survive safely with them. Dia tak akan berebut dengan nutrient dengan insect. Dia akan juga dapat nutrient, and also insect will also dapatkan nutrient. So dua-dua ini akan survive bersama-sama lah. Bersama-sama, dia tak akan membahayakan nyawa insect. Dia akan survive together. Itulah Trichominfa. Okay, this is the first species. Another species is Trypanosoma. It is very difficult to read. Trypanosoma. Okay, inilah structure dia lah. Look like macam ni. Only if you see this is red blood cell. Red blood cell. Yang ni baru Trypanosoma. Ini bukan. Ini red blood cell. So if you see the red blood cell, it is the one of the parasite can infect our human. Ini organism yang akan infect human punya, and it will live as parasite form in our human blood. So it has single and large mitochondria that contain organized mass of DNA called kinetoplast. The cell will contain large mitochondria that contain organized mass of DNA called kinetoplast. And then it is colorless, and many are parasitic and cause disease. It is parasitic. Parasitic means it must realize on the one of the organism one. If no, it cannot survive. Macam virus lah. Virus is one of the parasitic form one. It is colorless. Actually, no color. This one is the monitor mereka guna komputer ada color lah. But actually, it is colorless. And then there are many are parasitic, and when infect to human, it will cause disease. So it can infect human, cause sleeping sickness, called neurological disease. Kalau trypanosoma masuk dalam human blood, human tu akan rasa nak tidur lah, ini called neurological disease, and it can destroy the human erythrocyte. Dia akan musnahkan human punya red blood cell. So if you imagine red blood, what are the function of red blood cell? Red blood cell is function contain hemoglobin, right? And then hemoglobin contain hemoglobin, and it carry oxygen and carbon dioxide, right? It carry oxygen from the lung to all part of body, and then release oxygen to the cell. And for carbon dioxide also, it carry carbon dioxide from the cell and then back into the lung for gases exchange, right? It is the function of erythrocyte. But if the erythrocyte already destroyed, you imagine if the cell got enough oxygen or not. It cannot, right? So it will cause sleeping. If the cell do not have enough oxygen, the human, our manusia akan tidur punya, akan macam lena lah, tak ada semangat, macam nak tidur saja. And it is transmitted, and the transmission is transmitted of bite of infected Africa disease fly. Ini nama dia lah. And it can cause fever, lethargy, and mental deterioration. Ini akan, and it may cause fatal in untreated. Kalau tak buat medical, kalau tak ada treatment, dia akan mati punya. Orang itu akan mati punya. And it also cause Chagas disease, which is transmitted by blood-sucking insects. Kalau ini blood-sucking insect, it will cause Chagas disease, and this Chagas disease will cause heart failure. Ini, so in conclusion, this organism, this species is parasitic, and it will cause disease to human, and it will destroy the erythrocyte. Yang paling penting, ini yang paling penting punya. Yang paling penting, you have to know it has large mitochondria, and it is colorless, parasitic, and can cause disease, infect human blood, and then cause sleeping sickness, and it will destroy the erythrocyte. Yang ini paling penting punya. Okay, the next is dia, ni saya pun tak tahu macam mana. Giardia. If I'm not mistaken, Giardia. Yang ni lah, look like macam ni lah. Macam ni lah, Giardia. And it also parasitic. It is parasitic. Parasitic. If you parasitic, and it has nuclear but mitochondria is absent. It has no mitochondria. Tadi yang ni trypanosoma, it has large mitochondria. Tapi yang ni dia tak ada mitochondria. Dia hanya ada nukleus saja. It has the large nucleus. Ini semua semua nukleus. Tapi dia tak ada mitochondria. And it has 1 to 4 flagella. Inilah. Ini flagella dia. And then ini adalah spesies dia, Giardia lamplia, Giardia intestina, can cause backpackers diarrhea. Ini one of the disease for human, and it is a common infection among camper and hiker. Kalau kepada sesiapa yang buat daki gunung, buat gunung punya daki gunung, dia akan normally will be infected lah. They are infected when they drink or run dish in the contaminated. Because in camper, normally for camping in the forest or hiking in the mountain, normally they drink water from the river, right? Normally they, if even you get the enough water, but for the kalau awak climb the mountain like Gunung Kinabalu, takkanlah awak ambil semua, takkanlah awak ambil air banyak ke atas gunung, kerana awak pun tahu hiking is very difficult kan. You know, right? Hiking is very difficult, and it will already bring more and already bring a lot of things. You bring water, and water also is very berat, dia sangat berat kan. So takkanlah bawa semua air. So normally for the hiking people, they will drink the dishes, drink the water that from the river. So maybe this river is already got the organism called Giardia, and this Giardia will cause the disease for human. So you have to be careful for this alert lah if you want to go to hiking or camping in the forest. So make sure that you have to drink the water that is very clean and clear. So that's it for the phylum Jusmatiguna for Subkingdom Protozoa. So there are total 3 species you have to learn, and also the characteristic of Subkingdom Protozoa. So in conclusion, you have to know the differences between Protozoa and Auga, and then the 3 species for the Protozoa. Okay, so hopefully you can scan this QR code to give it any comment or any feedback me. Okay, thank you.